Hello Leo, welcome back to my channel. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for coming back. If you're new to the channel, I hope you enjoy the reading. Please don't forget to like and share, or like and subscribe. This is a general reading, so whatever comes out of it for you and it resonates with you, that's great. Otherwise, it may also apply to somebody that you're close to at this time. If you have strong influences in your birth chart associated with another sign, like a strong ascendant or a different Venus or whatever you found is appropriate for you, then you can cross-watch to my other videos and get further insight. I work with the 12 houses of the zodiac, so as the cards are appearing in each house, then those are the influences that are coming to bear for you at this time. You have quite a month ahead of you. It seems to me that there are a great many changes going on under the surface, or perhaps you need to initiate a great many attitude changes or releasing of certain things in order to bring the stability which you require. That's in your 12th house, because it's spilling over into your first house, your second house, pretty much the entire chart right the way around, and each one is kind of interacting with the other. So these are deep-seated changes, which I'll get to in the 12th house, but these are deep-seated changes which is in your psyche. It's underneath. It could be letting go of old stubborn ideas or old views and things that just don't serve you anymore. Time to let them go, to bring the stability in that you want. But in any case, in the first house we have lunar eclipse change. First house is your house of self. Everything to do with yourself, your vitality, your physical body, how you look to others, how you look to yourself, how you come across to others, your personality, your characteristics. It's also your personal independence, how you are making your way in the world, your daily, outlook and your persona, and also what you project to others as well. It's all your self-oriented interests, everything to do with you. Okay, so lunar eclipse change coming in, it's exactly what it says. This will be an abrupt or unexpected change, or it could be something that you were aware of, was looming or sitting there, but you just haven't dealt with it, or just wasn't the right time or whatever. But it's like bubbling over now. Now it needs to be dealt with. So this is going to push you out of your comfort zone. You're going to be moved into a new direction, or you're going to be moving into a new direction once you deal with the initial upheaval. So whatever the upheaval is, it could even just be a change of attitude. Something occurs, it creates a change of attitude or perception, which is what I said in the 12th house. But whatever it is, it's inevitable, it's necessary, it really is necessary. And it's going to help you release old habits, old ways of doing things. This card is also about cycles. So you could be going through different cycles in your life, or you could be addressing sort of cycles of behavior in your life. It's also about moods and the past, so memories from the past, and that does come to, it does go hand in hand with old habits as well. But it's a curveball, whatever it is. It could also be that you have female or feminine issues around you which you need to deal with, or within yourself as well, and perhaps that needs attention. But you really will be out of your comfort zone for a while until things settle down. After the initial sort of upheaval or a change or whatever is coming in for you, it can wrap up within 6 weeks or within 6 months, depending on what the issue is. But really, this is a time of releasing. This is a time of deep reassessment to work out how you're going to move forward now, because you really do need to reformulate and change, let go of old things now that just not working for you anymore. We're all having to do that in some way or another, and it's coming up for you in your first house, which is what you project, how you're making your way forward in the world. So it really is a complete metamorphosis, if you want to say that. Then in the second house, we have Scorpio, I Transform, another transformative card. So going hand in hand with this outward change that you're making and everything to do with the self is the second house, which is to do with your self-worth. Your self-worth, your values, what you value in others, what you value in yourself, what you value in your possessions, your ownership. All of that is getting a very thorough overhaul at this time. So I'm really going to be shining the spotlight on the second house. It's also about your income, the money that's coming into you, however you earn it or however it comes to you, whether it's passive income or active. So the second house is all about that, but a lot of it is to do with your self-worth, what makes you feel good, what you can do to make yourself feel good, and that's not necessarily tied to money. Okay, that is connected to a great many things in your chart, and all of it is getting an overhaul. You're looking at all of it at this time and making changes for the better. All right. It could also be that you're transforming your finances in some way, your money that's coming in, where you're putting it, how you're using it. And also, how you're channeling that, whether you're channeling it into making yourself feel better, putting aside something for perhaps something you need to do, some retreat or a therapy or just something like that. It's a bit of self-care to boost your self-worth at this time, because you're going to need that right now. It could also be just that you're thinking financially as well, how to make yourself more secure, what you're owning, what you're purchasing, and so on. So it's an endings and beginnings card, this. So something new from old. You're transforming your self-worth, your values, your income. It's a testing time. It's also about control. There could be control issues, or you need to get control of certain things. Avoid manipulative actions at this time. All right, so steer clear of that, because it will backfire on you. There's also this card can bring up hidden things, hidden feelings, hidden emotions, and also secrets and intrigues could be coming up. But there's deep self-analysis here, and you may need therapy to assist you through that, or some natural therapy, or just some kind of retreat, whatever it may be, whatever's right for you, to actually to have a thorough look and an overhaul. Taxes, property, assets, shared assets, things like that are all coming under the spotlight. Inheritance, banks, money, all come in with this card as well. So really it's an all-rounder, and each one is going to go hand in hand at this time, through this time. Then in your third house, you have Leo, I will. So your third house is your form of expression, how you express yourself, and it's all forms of communication. That's written, verbal, body language, how you interact with others. And this is others in the wider spectrum. It could be the public, it could be your customers, it could be your people that you interact with locally, but it's also certain family members, cousins, aunts, uncles, relatives, siblings, and it's also, neighbors even. So it's kind of to do with that. It's also documents and contracts come in under this card. So this could be pretty much a client thing. Perhaps you're trying to boost what you're doing, to rearrange what you're doing so that your income is improved or whatever. But this Leo card is going to help you with that. So this is about your brand. All right. This third house has a lot to do with that as well. Your brand, what you are expressing at this time. And if you're wanting to boost your income or to improve your popularity, your reputation, and how you interact with others, the Leo card can help you. It's a creative expression coming in for you, originality, individuality. So focus on that. You're going to be in the spotlight in some way, or the center of attention in some way. So there could be very much like a recognition, or some kind of reward coming, or some kind of, you're just in the spotlight. Perhaps what you're doing, what you're projecting with your brand is being noticed. So it could be to do with something that you're physically doing, your craft. But it's also about personality. Bring your personality into what you're doing. There's also a youthful outlook in this. Children are indicated. Perhaps you can diversify into children, or doing something to help children, or involved with children in some way. Publicity comes in with this as well. But it's also about pride, reputation, and extravagance. So just be careful of those pitfalls as well. So that, there could be issues coming up to do with that, that you don't go overboard with that and be excessively prideful or extravagant in what you're doing, your possessions and all that, especially if it's not necessary and not required with your money situation currently, as it's getting an overhaul right now. So this is about creative expression. Really, that's what this is for you. Then we have another nice card to do with your home. Your fourth house is your home life. And the people in your home, the atmosphere in your home, and it's also your relationship to your family, your ancestry, your roots, your foundation, your ethnic identity, and the support that you get from that, or you giving support in that, learning new things about your ancestry, about your family, about your foundation. It's about feeling secure in that and learning about that, whichever way that is for you. You may have to come to terms with certain things or whatever. But with the Venus love card coming in, it's bringing that in for you. So this is, I feel, to do with making your home a lovely place, a lovely safe place, a loving place, a romantic place. You don't have to be in a partnership to bring romance into your home, but it's about that. So it's a little bit of luxury in there, bringing in a few things that you like to look at that make you feel good, sort of plumping your home up, pimping your home up a little bit so that it is lovely for you. It's a lovely place for you to be. You enjoy being there. That is your sanctuary. You could also have a windfall or money coming in for you with this card. It can bring that in because Venus does rule money as well. But it's also about home comforts, boosting that for yourself. You may be bringing some artistic things in, whether it's art or sculpture or something that you love to look at, some beautiful thing that is enjoyable for you to look at. You're bringing that into your home. A few luxuries may be coming. Just be careful again with your money situation. You could also be working on handcrafts in your home. Perhaps it's something creative that you like to do, or you're bringing those things into your home. Perhaps you have a passion for that, but it's nurturing, it's good food, it's comfort. You may even be bringing a new look into your home. Perhaps you're redoing your home in some way. There's fashionable items coming in. You could be entertaining. There's popularity, coming in for you, socializing. But it really is improvements to the home as well, the actual physical home. Maybe you're redecorating or rearranging or building something, but it's going to be good. And make sure you bring the love and the comfort in there. And, as I said, windfall or money is indicated as well. It could also be that you are receiving support and love from your family, and there's loving interactions there. So the support from your foundation, your family, your people that have, where you come from, your foundation. Then in the 5th house, we have Chiron healing. 5th house is the house of your creative expression. It's also to do with any creative projects that you may be involved in, your creativity in general, but it's also the house of children. It's the house of love affairs, and it's the house of recreational activities of all kinds. So whether this is, sports or some other kind of endeavor or fun activity that you're involved in, it's also speculative activities like gambling or stock exchange, playing the stock exchange. But it's play, it's recreation, having fun, all of those things, but there's got those other elements coming in. All of that can come in via your children as well. You could be involved in club sports with them or busy with activities with them that involve creative expression. Or having fun, going out on activities and so on. Or it could be a love affair. But whatever it is, the Chiron healing card is saying that healing is required here in this house before you can really move forward. So there are issues coming up. And these could be like old emotional wounds or old issues coming up for you to look at again. Happens to all of us. These things keep going until you address them. So somewhere along the line, something from the past is going to come up again, whether it's an emotional or it could even be physical if it's a sporting issue for you. Perhaps it's your physical body and the way you're conducting yourself in your sporting activities. Perhaps you need to hone, need to refine, you need to get healing first before you can progress. There's something to do with that. So basically what it is when the thing comes up, when this issue appears again, you have to acknowledge its presence. You can't stuff it down or ignore it. You must bring it into the light. You've got to look at it and see the function that it has played in your life. What is the role it has played in your life? You must accept it, accept the function it's had, accept it fully, and then release it. And then it won't come back again for you because you've dealt with it. You've brought it into the light. You've examined it. You've looked at it fully, and you've acknowledged its presence in your life. Okay. So this is also about breaking old patterns in some way. This could also be to do with health matters, whether it's your child or your love affair that you're going through. Perhaps there's an issue that's appeared now, or it could be an old love affair or issues from previous love affairs which are manifesting again. So it's about healing the past, healing old wounds. It could be to do, as I said, with children, because schooling and learning come into this as well. Perhaps your old issues from your schooling are coming up via your children. But schooling and learning is highly indicated with this. Also, alternative health, exploring all of that, alternative remedies, alternative therapies, chiropractic, homeopathy, naturopathy, all of that is all indicated here. It could be a new project for you. Perhaps you're learning more about it and you're going to be more creative with that in yourself or in your life. Perhaps you're going into a range where you're going to be studying that further and you want to create products. But it's also about visiting healing facilities of some kind and therapies taking place. So it's about what you're learning through that process. It's a very healing process, and through that you will then make progress. Then in the 6th house, we have South Node, Life's Debts. So this is another toughie coming in for you. Your 6th house is your house of your work projects, your workplace, your colleagues there, your work routines. It's also the house of health and diet, which we've covered sort of already, and it's the house of pets. So with South Node, Life's Debts coming in, this is a wake up and a shake up coming in for you. So some things must be cast off in order for you to move forward. So something's changing there. Doors will slam. Literally, things will close for you, and you're now going to be moved in a different direction. You have to take steps in the new direction because those things are gone. They no longer suit you. They no longer serve you. It's not where you need to be right now. So there are karmic issues coming up as well, or maybe even karmic debts being settled. It's a card of endings and beginnings. So something will end and something will begin. The old and familiar falls away. So this is an old structure or something that you've been doing routinely for years. The same old thing going round and round, and suddenly it ends or it just transforms in some way. But it's very necessary. You must let that go and transform it because there's something much better for you on the other side of that. So it's out of comfort zone, the end of a rut. So any rocky road that you've been on where there's been resistance and you've had obstacle after obstacle after obstacle and things are just not working out, that is a very, very strong sign. It's a redirection sign. You must make changes now in your life and try new doors. Time for change. So challenges to grow in there, new directions. And this can be applied to your health and diet as well. However that's going for you. Perhaps there's something that needs to really be changed. It's a lifestyle change you need to make now. So addictions, need to be addressed. Old patterns and addictions come under that. It could even be old family patterns and that created addictions for you. Depression comes in with this as well, because when you live in the past, it brings about depression. When you're living in the past, when you are unable to express your creative self, that also can bring in depression for you as well. So all of these issues are going to be needing to be addressed in some way, form in this house. Then in the 7th house, this is your house of relationships, personal one-on-one relationships, and they're also your, it can be business relationships or business partnerships. So it's partnerships are indicated with this card, whether it's business or love or some other close personal relationship. And it's all the issues around that. So now with the air element communicating coming, it's exactly what it is. All communication is highlighted at this time. So be very, very careful how you handle this right now. Handle with care. Weigh up what you need to say. Weigh up your options. Weigh things up very, very carefully at this time. Think things through. Reasoning is required at this time. You may be feeling a little bit cool and detached, or maybe that is required at this time, or your partner is a bit cool and detached, or you're just going through a period where there is, you need to just reassess everything. There's reasoning coming in. As I said, this is a very mental, air-related sign, so everything's mental. It could also be that you're being too detached. That can also come in. But whatever it is, it could be taking a new path for you. There could be gossip that you're hearing or gossip swirling around you at this time, or you could be receiving news of some kind as well. This is the card of manifestation. So be careful, as I said, what you say and what you think, what you write. Your positive thoughts, your positive words will go a long way to bring in what you need, not necessarily what you want, but what you need into your life. So manifestation is highly indicated here. Then in the 8th house, we have part of fortune increase. This is a lovely card coming in for you, and it's coming into your money house, which has already, you're going to be looking at things very seriously in your 2nd house, which is your income. And this is also to do with that. This is finances. This is big finances, but it's also the commitment between, the deeper commitment between partners. So this is love partners or a business partnership. It's the sexual side of the relationship. So part of fortune can be bring about an increase for you. So it's basically, but I feel it's more monetary at this stage. This is a kind of fate and destiny coming in for you, good luck, good fortune. So something good coming your way. Or it could just be that you're moving ahead in some way. So the big finance is banking, accounting, taxes, insurances, investments, assets, taxes of all kinds. It's also the inheritance and legacies come in with this as well. So you could be receiving something like that. It could also be achievement. So something that you've been wanting to do is now coming to you, or you're achieving success in some way. This house can also be about working with other people's money, handling other people's money. So maybe that is going to be noted for you. It could be, that you're receiving reward for that in some way. It also benefits landing in your lap. So this is things coming to you. It's destiny. It's fate. It could also be that hidden talents of yours are coming to the surface now as well. Something has been stirred, and that could be psychic development, because this 8th house is all about psychic development as well. So it could be that, or it could be on the financial side. Perhaps you're really finding that you're actually quite good at something. Figures, money, all of that comes in with this card as well. So it's kind of a benefit coming to you in some way in the 8th house. Then in the 9th house, we have Black Moon Lilith mystery. So this is exactly what it says. The 9th house is all about adventure and exploration. It's about international travel, if that's appropriate for you. But it can also be about further education and study. So this is university level or adult education. It's also about the understanding of the workings of philosophy, religion, belief systems. So perhaps those are of interest for you. Perhaps you're studying that, or issues around that are coming up for you. So there's faith, wisdom is all coming into this house. It's the search for meaning and purpose. So you may just be feeling out of sorts at the moment, that you haven't really got your purpose sorted out yet. This house is also about teaching and promotional work of all kinds, publishing, and it's also dealing with relationships to in-laws. But it's also about the law, and it's about the higher courts. So you may be going through a court case or a legal situation of some kind, and all of that is indicated in the 9th house. But it's saying to you that there's a mystery at this time. So you could be waiting for something to happen. Matters are not clear. There are facts which have not come to the fore, or not gelled just yet. You could be waiting for something to come to you, and it's not happening at the moment, because not all the situation, nothing is really clear yet. There are undercurrents going on. So there's a mystery there. It's also about your emotions around those issues. So it could be yours or somebody else's, or you're seeing it around you in some way, not necessarily within you. You could just be witnessing it in some way. But it's all the darker emotions, the shadow emotions. So this is envy, guilt, rebellion, which can be good, but can also work out bad for you. So it's about revenge. It's about bitchiness or bitterness, or feelings of being slighted or overlooked, rejected in some way. So all of those things, anger, fear, all of those things can come in, and it's how you handle them. So healthy outlet is going to be really, really necessary. Or you could be in a position where you have to be on the receiving end of that, or you may see it in your environment, as I say. But it's all about control, keeping yourself under control, and not harboring those emotions, harboring them and letting them fester, if that is appropriate for you. But otherwise, it could just be that there are mysterious circumstances going on in this house. Things are not clear, and you're just waiting for things to happen. 10th house is the house of career, reputation, public status, and fame, if that is appropriate for you. It's also the house of authority figures, people that you admire or people that you look up to, or it could be a family member or somebody in your workplace, like a mentor or a guru that you look up to. It could also be the law or military. Those are also authority figures, or banking. Any kind of authority figure is indicated here, where you are having to deal with authority figures of all kinds. So with Mercury coming in for you, the written, everything written, all communication is very highly indicated at this time. This is a mental sign. It's about knowledge. It's about writing, it's about editing, it's about words, it's about numbers. Anything to do with the sea, and merchants is coming in, so anything mercantile or anything to do with being a merchant or merchant activities. Communication in all forms is very highly indicated, as I said, but it can also be about books, the internet, technology, electronics, anything to do with that comes in. So you could be having to learn new things, or you could be studying something or researching something from books or the internet. Communication is highly indicated. Also humor. Humor comes in here. Sharpness, curiosity, adaptability, being very adaptable. Mercury is like that. But it's about education and learning. So possibly you need to further your education in some way. Or it's coming to you via somebody, or you're seeing this in your environment, or it could be that you're involved with a mentor who is bringing all this in for you in some way. This card, as I said, is about the gaining of knowledge in whatever way, and the 10th house is about your career. It's about your fame and your reputation, and it's about your public status as well. Just be careful with hearing things, gossip, and what you say as well, because this card can also bring in glibness, being argumentative, as I said, going up against authority figures. It can also be about gossip and scandals, so that may come in some way as well. Then in the 11th house, we have void, of course, moon missing. So this 11th house is the house of your self-oriented, your own personal hopes and wishes and dreams, your visions for the future, your hobbies and your interests, your personal hobbies and your interests. It's also the house of friendships, your friends, and it's the house of the contacts and the networks that you are involved with, and that's groups of all kinds. So it could be a society, an association, or a group of people that you're just busy with, a club, if it's a sports activity or so on, or just a club of some kind, or it could be that you're within a group of companies, something like that. But it's also about group consciousness, global consciousness, and social reform and causes. So you could be involved in that in some way. So void, of course, moon is where the moon goes goes void for a period while it's changing sign. It's nothing. It's nowhere. It goes quiet. And so therefore you don't have access to, so you can't see clearly ahead of you. So at this time, it's very, very wise just to stay as you are in your normal routine for now. So it's about making dreams, making plans, resting, sleeping. Don't take action right now on new things. Don't take action right now, or something that you've been planning for some time. So wait for the energy to shift. It doesn't normally stay for very long. As I said, it's between signs, and the moon changes signs frequently. So it's about just holding back on what you want to implement in this house. It could also be that you're seeing this with a friend, or you're wanting to change something to do with a friendship, or you want to bring something in your hobbies and your interests. You want to change something there or make a new action. Just hold 5 at the moment. Just stay as you are for now until you feel the energies shift. What it can do is bring in the wrong result. So you launch an action of some sort, you don't get the result you require, you get a wrong result, or a mistake is made, or there's wasted effort, or it could be a delay. It's something is unresolved, or becomes unresolved. So also don't loan money at this time. Don't do that. Because you won't get a good result. It's also an unfavorable time to be making changes. As I said, it's not a good time to be making changes because you don't have the insight of the moon available to you at this time. Then in the 12th house, we have earth element stability. So as I said to you earlier on, I feel this is about you gaining or trying to bring stability into your inner life, because the 12th house is all about your unconscious, what is going on under the surface within the deeper recesses of you. Your unconscious self, your motivations, your drives. It's where you go when you want to retreat, where you go for deep analysis and assessment, solitude, reflection. Or it could be you going on a retreat, or some kind of going somewhere quiet where you can retreat. It's about your spiritual life. It's about meditation. It's about mysticism and all of that. It's about healing, finding healing. It can also be about escapism, this house. So escapism of all kinds, which literally can be removing yourself from a situation, going quiet, or it can be turning to addictions of all kinds, or dealing with that. So finding healing around that. It's also the house of service to others. So you may be in a service industry, or you want to enter that, or you are in service in some way to other people. It's also the house of karmic lessons, okay? So with the earth element stability coming in, it's about you finding your inner strength right now, because you've got a lot of change going on. So you really need to dig deep right now. It's about finding meaning. It's about patience and responsibility. So you need to examine stubborn views, outdated ideas that are holding you back from trying new things. So your fears coming to the surface. You do need to take action in some way, but it's about, you need to be practical and methodical about it. But you also need to let go of old, outdated, as I said, stubbornness views, and things that are holding you back, and things that you're preventing growth, not being able to take a step forward because you're afraid, or because you just don't want to try new things, So it's about patience as well. It could be about materialism or hoarding, whether that's hoarding emotions or hoarding material things, or just materialism in general. So going after materialism and neglecting your inner self, your spiritual life, what it is that it's going to bring you that deep, contented inner self. It's all about that. So finding meaning, spend time in nature. This is highly indicated with this card. Connect with nature, spend time there, and that will bring you a lot of stability and peace as well. Okay, Leo, hope you enjoyed that. Big changes, lots of things going on. I hope it works out well for you. Please take care. Don't forget to like and share, or like and subscribe. And I will see you next time. Take care.